Hey, sorry about
Where
that.
did you go?
I had to connect to
Go.
the other network because this
Where
one
did you
was
go, Jamie?
going in and out. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can't figure
Okay.
out The Economist magazine from 2017. Like, I'm looking at it now.
Oh,
It
you
doesn't
mean
make
the
that
the
much
new one
sense.
with the drawings
I
and
thought I'd look
stuff?
at the old one first, see if we can make any sense of it a year on. With all the tarot cards with Trump sat on the world. That's a weird one.
Oh yeah.
This one's just really creepy. If you looked at this year's,
Now, which one is this one? The world in 2018 with all the little emoji things?
they did too. The one I'm looking at is the one with Da Vinci.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the one I had pulled.
Yeah, let's check that one out. Because got some creepy shit on there. The thing that stood out was definitely start to the Da Vinci guy. Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's see what's going
Well, you got him with like VR goggles on.
on. Yeah, I'm scared of VR. Yeah, you got the scales and the iPhone. So I wonder if they're gonna like they're talking about replacing like law with AI. Should get rid of lawyers and judges and just do it all by AI.
Well, I mean, to some extent, I think that could even be like an allegory towards the whole deplatforming and stuff like that. That you have this digital judgment system that is punishing people for. I mean, you could say Alex Jones has been put in a prison of sorts, where he's not allowed in the social. It's what Matt
Did
Drudge
you see
said
it with
about
Gaffer
digital
McInnes?
ghettos.
That's well funny. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
You
Those
look a
two.
little bit upset, Alex. Fucking goddamn them!
Yeah, those two are great together. And I do like, though, that Gavin heeded Alex's advice and started a mailing list and like a newsletter, so no matter what happens, he could keep in touch with people. And he's saying, I don't know, I think YouTube is going to be the next ones to deplatform me. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah, but with the AI, you've got to remember everything's being recorded too, so they can just get all the evidence they need, just get an AI court, get
Yeah.
an AI judge, get an AI sentence, and just take it straight out your bank account.
I do think it's interesting,
Instant justice,
too,
dude.
how it really shows how wide sweeping this is, where Alex Jones has been saying that Tucker Carlson is going to be next, and he definitely is. I have to say, though, too, I really think that how I'd been saying for a while that Owen Benjamin has turned into what Alex Jones was like 10 years ago. That old Alex is back since being deplatformed. Like, some of his rants about globalists terraforming the earth and this being an off-world sort of alien demonic sort of plan and everything, like, he's back to that. He's back to talking about it being a prison planet, and more so than talking about the day-to-day politics. I don't like Alex talking about the small picture stuff. I like him talking big picture.
I like David Knight quite a lot too.
David Knight's always been great. I think David is always great about covering particular issues like vaccines, and there are certain topics that Alex Jones made his name on covering, and David Knight never stopped covering those topics.
Back to this picture though, you got this, what's going on with the moon? There's something flying to the moon. Fuck's that at the top?
I don't know. I can't find I'm going to try looking again. I can't find like a big high quality picture for this.
You got all the backward writing. So you got a bulldog with Britain beyond Brexit, it says, if you turn it, reverse it. Which is back to that Satanism, they reversed a lot of all the writing.
Yeah.
And then you got this Trump picture where it's all measured out. That reminds you of the MK Ultra kind of thing. That reminds you of like that Melissa Melton film. But also, that might be the graph to show a battery. There's like the positive and the negative. Are they talking about the positive and negative of Trump? Or
well, when I see that, I think of the old sort of eugenics, like measuring of the skulls to
yeah,
in
biometrics, dude.
Yeah, that too. But I was thinking the measuring of the skulls to determine IQ and, you know, things like that. Let's see, is this a big version of the picture? Yeah, this is a bigger one. Let me.
Next to the Brexit thing, you got the Indian elephant, which is like the colony. Maybe Britain's gonna benefit. It looks like England's gonna just dominate through Brexit. Just watch Europe burn from a distance. And because we got water protecting us, at least we've got a wall.
Yeah. You guys do have a wall, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. We're not dumb.
Let's see.
Have we got a wall?
You got the British break. What now? What is this thing? Putin. What's the backwards writing by Putin's face? Let me see. I might be able to just.
Putin's pipelines.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a Satanist, so I can just automatically backread.
Yeah. I don't know, let me edit this and see if I can flip it. Crop and rotate, flip. Here we go.
The weed versus the sport as well. And it looks like the weed's got the upper hand. So the iPhone's got the upper hand on Law and Order, AI, and weed's got the upper hand on baseball. Baseball's Masonic, isn't it? It's a Masonic game.
I don't know.
3 strikes and you're out.
Might
I mean, you
be.
based our law on baseball. For God's sake. Fucking hell. You wonder why America's fucked sometimes. Can't base laws that put people in jail for life based on baseball.
What does this other thing say? Mona Angelina?
Yeah, the Angelina Jolie thing. Hang on. I need to fiddle. Because I can't really read backwards. I have to flip it. Like that.
Yeah, I have a flipped version of it on the screen right now. I mean, I almost wonder though with the hands over the other if it's showing like the
Well,
iPhone.
Angelina Jolie's going to be like the goodwill ambassador for the United Nations, isn't she?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of being pathed as like the virgin woman.
Well, and it says here even in the magazine that there's an article on her about
Maybe the baseball
refugees
could be a
and stuff.
planet.
Well, see, the thing I was thinking is that it's almost showing that like, you know, the iPhone being over the scales like that, you know, the technology
Well,
is.
it's got the people on the scales. So that's like the last judgment to me, man.
See, to me, it's almost like, you know, the technology is over the law and order, where people are being judged, you know, in this digital.
Well, it could be those indictments.
Could be, but I think it's almost the weed over the baseball. Like the baseball is just sort of symbolic of like the recreation and everything like that, where it's like the marijuana stuff being over. You know, baseball, see, the thing about baseball is it's very much equatable with, like, American sort of apple pie, like, traditional... It's kind of traditional conservative American values type stuff, where, like, weed is sort of a more hippie, rebellious type of recreational idea. So it's like, to me, seeing that from an American perspective, it's almost like that the sort of liberal hippie recreations are being uplifted over the traditional clean fun American baseball idea. But I mean, that's just my interpretation
You got the
of
apocalypse, the four horsemen, the apocalypse. That's a good sign.
it. Yeah, and you also have this weird Pinocchio thing next to Putin.
Pinocchio.
I don't know who that's
Well,
supposed to be.
What about the? I think the panda could be South Africa, couldn't it? Black and white rainbow nation.
Maybe. See, I when I see pandas,
And then again, panda can be.
I equate it
like,
with
I don't want to
Asia.
go down that road straight away, but paedophilia too.
see, I equate the pandas with Asia. If I saw a panda, I would think China, honestly.
They used a panda to like have the rainbow nation kind of.
I didn't know about that. And then you have this
Yeah, or
the stork.
pedos use it quite a lot.
You also have the stork and like
Oh yeah, with the digital baby, the baby with
The
that's
barcode,
the
yeah.
barcode, yeah. And then on Jesus, you've got the reconstruction of DNA. Remember that guy went missing, the guy who did the first genetic baby or whatever. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The dude went missing. And the Me Too tattoo on fucking the guy.
Where's that?
On Da Vinci, he's got hashtag Me Too tattoo. That's the only thing that isn't up, you know, the wrong way round.
Is that the one on the arm?
No, it's on his chest.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
I know on his arm it looks like it says Joe. I don't know if I just can't make that out right, or... I don't know why it keeps swapping me between the two of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. And then it looks like you have these ballot boxes here, too. But that has like a flag on it. Oh, now...
You got your
now I'm...
electric
Okay,
car.
yeah, now I'm zoomed in. Alright, I see everything now. The Me Too on his chest, yeah, I couldn't see that because that was reviewed. Oh, he has the DNA helix on his
So that's
arm.
like,
That's
is
what that
that
is.
like aimed at men and just gonna start becoming soy boys? And they're just gonna plug into a virtual reality and be judged by AI, not by their peers.
Pretty much. Alright, now we're in
And
business.
we're all gonna face the scales, dude. It's gonna be, it goes into, we keep talking about it, it's so fucking boring, but the social credit score, that's what that is. And and you think that baby with the being delivered, kind of like, imagine if you were born into, it's like we lived through the 80s, before CCTV, before mobile phones, before everyone had a camera. Imagine if you weren't, if you were born and that's just normal.
Yeah,
Fucking weird, bro.
I
It's
think
like a
about that all the
different
time.
generation. It is. Well, it's looking good for next year then. Lots of positive images.
Yeah, who's the old guy with the hat? Do you know that?
The old guy with the hat.
Yeah, next to Putin.
I don't know, hang on. The old guy with the hat, I don't know.
I mean, it could be one of the other names that the articles are about, since they have Angelina Jolie on there, and she's one of them.
Oh, yeah, I'm not looking forward to another year of that witch.
I did see you sent me some more stuff about the idea of Tommy Robinson being
Blatant, isn't it?
MI5.
So blatant. Like, if you mention it on like any pro Great Britain site, people will just go insane. How dare you? Come say this to my face. I'll start threatening you straight away.
Really?
And it's like, well, UKIP could actually do really well. Don't really need Tommy. Like, Tommy Robinson, first we had all this, he's just an activist shit. And then it's like, oh, I'm just an activist. And then it's like, I'm just a journalist, I'm not into politics, I'm never going to get into politics, I'm just a journalist. And now he's butting into UKIP. And Nigel Farage is like, gone. And that's the whole point of Common Purpose. I mean, we've gone through Common Purpose all the time. They go in there, they act outside their authority, they disrupt everything.
Here's actually...
I don't mind Tommy Robinson promoting UKIP. I think that would be alright if he did it from the outside. Got the football crowds interested. Fair enough. But why is he dictating about Nigel Farage and Gerrard? And the other thing with UKIP, I don't understand why everyone trusts this Rees-Mogg guy, because his dad is basically Saul Sawinski. He wrote loads of books, exactly the same as Saul Sawinski books, like how to succeed out of chaos and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, really? What are we doing, guys? Because they just need to back Nigel Farage. That's it. I mean, that sounds like a good plan. So what's going to happen? I mean, Sargon, Vacard, and Watson seem pretty tied up with Tommy. Yeah, it just seems
Here's an article. You know what's interesting is
I mean, the EDL is fucking Israel intelligence.
I
Like,
mean,
you've seen all the articles about all this backing that Tommy's getting from all these dodgy places.
well, and even here's the thing where, and granted, you know, I credit where credit's due, nothing against that, but even from this time last year, December 27th, 2017, Tommy Robinson, here's how MI5 saved Christmas. Now, if you think about it, if you are against, you know, over police states, but you have a mouthpiece like Tommy Robinson talking, you know, against these Muslims and everything like that, and then praising MI5, you know, it almost gives them like a, you know, where it's like right wing would be sort of against the government.
I spoke about the link between these mosques and MI5.
Yeah, instead he's just giving them cover when they do. Let's see. Here's an article on The Spectator. I just pulled up some articles. Tommy Robinson, Zionist puppet, neocon fraud, and Wahhabist stooge.
Yeah. He is, isn't he? Friends, I do like the guy. I like the act, and that's why you've got to be careful. Just like Trump. I'm not buying Trump from still. Still think he's a stooge. I hope he's not, but... Stooge. What are your predictions for 2019? Hit it. Like, what's your first couple of months and then going in mid-year, going into the end? Still think he's a stooge.
I don't know. I wonder, hold on, I'm just sort of...
Weaponized social media is going to be like a big thing.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Oh, on Drudge Report, they had another story about how the elites are drinking teenage blood. Thought you'd like that.
Are they?
I'm
not surprised.
Let's have a quick look at Drudge. Drudge is always handsome. Roger Drudge. Oh yeah, had a volcano just ripped. Yeah, volcano on a full moon on the winter solstice. That's so sad.
I'm just...
Oh, what about that Sacha Baron, whatever his name?
Oh,
Or,
yeah,
Alan
I
Tudyk.
see. I didn't check that, but I heard Owen Benjamin talking about it. Where he was doing the hidden camera thing. And there was
Yeah, and he asked if he could have help to kill an 8-year-old. They're like, yeah, we could help you with that. And not even can we kill the 8-year-old, we can find you another one. And the FBI didn't even do a shit.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's Who is America deleted scene may have exposed elite pedophile sex ring. In Sacha Baron Cohen's
What do you mean may have?
latest Who is America, the character,
May have.
comedian, provocateur nudged former and current Republican members of Congress into endorsing armed guards. In a new interview with Deadline, Baron Cohen describes how the election of Donald Trump inspired him to get back into costume and explain the antagonizing detail what went into fictional characters like Mossad agent, blah blah. Along the way, Cohen was astounded by the increase in open American racism. When we went to shoot Borat, if somebody said something anti-Semitic or homophobic, we were surprised and we knew that it wouldn't make the cut. Now, going all these years later, and that the political dialogue that's come to the top made extremely negative impact on other politicians. People are saying things they would have never dreamed of saying publicly prior to Trump. The interview also gives some new insight into how blah blah blah. Let's see. During the interview, believing the admission would drive the concierge from the room, Baron Cohen, as Gio reveals that he's molested an 8-year-old boy. This guy starts advising Gio how to get rid of this issue. We even at one point talk about murdering the boy, and the concierge is just saying, well, listen, I'm really sorry. In this country, we can't just drown the boy. This is America. We don't do that. After the concierge offers to put Gio in touch with a lawyer who can help silence the boy, Baron Cohen is asked for help securing a date for the night. He says, what do you mean a date? I go, you know, like a young man, he says. Well, what kind of age? I say, lower than bar mitzvah age, but older than 8. And he says, yeah, I can put you in touch with someone who can get you boys like that. Rather than airing the segment, Baron Cohen and his production team turned the footage over to the FBI because we thought perhaps there's a pedophile ring in Las Vegas that's operating for these very wealthy men. And this concierge said he had worked for politicians and various billionaires. While Baron Cohen judged the interview too dark and extreme to be included in the show, it's a revealing look at how the powerful can get away with decades-long sexual abuse, including pedophile sexual abuse such as massive cover-ups surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and all that. Orchestrated by Trump's labor secretary. I love how it's saying that that Jeffrey Epstein's massive cover-up was orchestrated by Trump's labor secretary Alexander Acosta, and it's like, oh yeah, that Epstein cover-up can be chalked up to one person, as if the whole media wasn't in the bag for him as well, as if, you know, all these other people weren't on planes with him getting it in as well. It was just one guy who was able to cover this all up for Epstein. Yeah, no. If things were only that easy that you just needed one man in for you, like, there's a lot more dirty laundry involved in that cover up.
Did you watch all of the Minds of Men?
No, I haven't yet.
I've watched all of it. It's amazing, man. It gets dark at the end.
I haven't had a lot of time at work lately. It's been stray cat season at my overnight job.
Yeah, I ended up nearly watching it twice. It's really great, man.
You know what we do have at my job right now that's pretty interesting? We have a pregnant man.
What?
Yeah, because it's 2018. Oh, you know how.
How?
You know how.
Pregnant with what? A human?
Yeah. In their vagina.
In a what?
In their vagina.
At work?
Because men have those now.
Why are they at your work?
Because they're staying there for 5 days while they're in between moving.
What? Moving? What? Where's the mum or dad? They got like another partner or what's going on there?
I don't know. I try not to ask too many questions.
That would be a good video.
I know it would, but it's a female who identifies as male, and then because they have sex with other men, they identify as a gay man, but they're pregnant with a baby. This is the world in 2018. Gay men with babies in their vages.
Jamie.
And if you're not in support, you're a goddamn bigot.
Jamie.
What?
Will you have my baby?
I would, Paul. I would have your baby in a heartbeat. Right in my vagina.
Let's do it. Get your vagina, dude.
I'll have to find it. I think I lost my vag a couple years ago.
Do you want artificial insemination or the real deal?
I mean, that's how I was born, artificial insemination.
Don't you want a real pumping, though?
I suppose. I mean, you might as well. If you're gonna go through the 9 months, you might as well.
We're gonna get married, I guess.
I just, you know, it. And here's the thing: when you're at a,
what should we call our kid, bro?
You know, why not Tommy Robinson? And then they can change their name when they get hired by MI5 to something cooler.
Yeah, Tommy can be a boy or a girl too.
Right.
Tommy Robinson. Yeah.
Here's a funny article on STEEMIT. Stop crying for Zionist agent provocateur Tommy Robinson. He knowingly broke the law, even pleaded guilty, and deserves to be in prison. 7 months ago. Which, you know, I have to say,
Just type in Tommy Robinson funding into Google News. You can see the Guardian, the Independent.
oh yeah, I think I got one right here. Tommy Robinson link with Quilliam, and then let me get this thing. Foundation raises questions. Counter-extremist think tank's decision to ally itself with EDL leaders viewed by many as a high-stakes gamble. And it's all sorts of things about him getting funding from different places and all sorts of stuff. But I mean, this is even the thing I think you and me were both saying when he got arrested. We were like, that was basically the thing he was provoking.
Because imagine what it's like when you go on any Facebook pro-UKIP or pro-British independence and you say, we need to be careful about Tommy Robinson. Everyone goes insane. And it's that mind control, it's wizardry.
Yeah.
Jews did it.
Well, and you know, this article right here even just gets straight to the point. It says, let's start by making something 100% clear. Tommy Robinson is not a pro-England patriot that was unjustifiably jailed and prosecuted. Tommy Robinson is a Zionist agent provocateur that likely works for Mossad, MI5, or both. He is a media psyop right-wing caricature that has been invented to act as a Fox revolutionary that Pied Pipers the UK conservatives and undermines their legitimate causes.
Breaks up UKIP.
Any tears that people are crying over poor Tommy is because they are fully psyoped and haven't done a bit of research. They clearly don't understand who Tommy is and why he just got thrown in the clink. Let's understand the law that Tommy knew and then ignored. In order that jurors are not biased and the trial is not thrown out, the following statutory contempt law exists in the UK. We already went into all of that.
Jamie, look at my face talking about Tommy Robinson. Look at it. It's a face of disappointment. Like, I like what Tommy's doing, but we're being taken for.
Well, and you know what the thing is I think even you could compare it to the same sort of gut reaction.
Why can't Paul Joseph Watson see it?
Well, the same gut reaction that, you know, we have to Tommy Robinson.
Why can't Alex Jones see it?
Why can't Owen Benjamin see it?
Look at my face of disappointment.
But it's the same way people feel about Jordan Peterson, where we get into this, well, he's doing some good, and it's like that's how they get you. That's how they get people, though, because it's like, you can't just have them doing all bad things, because when they're doing some good, you're then reluctant to accuse them and say these things because you try to balance it out. It's like, oh, well, maybe they're just a useful idiot. Maybe it's, you know, he's helping some people. You know, it's, you know, he's doing some good. Yeah, he's doing some good for an ultimate evil.
Don't mean to be a dick, right? But I'm going to go there. So Tommy Robinson's now political. What's his political philosophy? What's his political ideology? Like, what's his political aims?
Zionist world order. No, but you're right. And it's the same thing almost with the Jordan Peterson thing, where it's like, what is Jordan Peterson's political aims?
Why can't Alex Jones see this?
I don't know.
Why can't Gaffin, what's his name?
I think McGinnis. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think maybe he came out the same, you know, when Fox Day goes on about the dark web and how it's controlled? Did Tommy Robinson kind of come out the dark web, you reckon, in a way?
Kind of, because I think they all sort of hopped behind him. I think he received that sort of push from them, where I know Ruben was going on about it for a while. Like, he sort of has their endorsement.
Scariest movie ever's posted, man. I love that channel.
Yeah. Although I am kind of surprised that
Anyone got any questions for the crew?
I don't think has Robinson ever been on Rogan's show?
No.
I'm surprised they haven't done. Surprised they haven't done that yet.
I haven't watched Rogan now in a couple of months.
Yeah, I haven't really either.
I watched some stuff and I just thought.
You know what I did watch that I really did like? Russell Brand sitting down with Candace Owens.
I didn't watch it. I can't handle Russell Brand.
See, you know what's really interesting about it is
socialism's good. Why don't you try socialism?
now, yeah, now this is why this was so great, though.
And try meditation and try relaxing. Just try loving everybody.
This is
Everybody's equal.
But let me tell you, Candace Owens finally confronted Russell Brand with everything I wish I could have. Like, there were very few things where I'm like, oh, she should have said this, because he kept saying, I think we need more love and compassion. And she's like, Russell, you can't get love and compassion from government. Like, you get that from your family, your friends, your community. He's like, but you know, historical, you gotta acknowledge the history. So they're holding hands, and she's like, slavery happened. I acknowledge, like, just sort of mocking his attitude. And then she goes to him and says, draw out your idea for a perfect government. Let me tell you, Paul, you know what he drew out? The American constitutional founding. That's what he imagined. He thought it was his original thought, the idea of states and separation of powers, and put forth the American founding.
Put into Google Russell Brand and Ed Miliband. He did this whole revolution thing in the UK. We're going to have a revolution, all love and care. And then at the last minute, just hours before the election, at prime time, 10 o'clock on YouTube, he went live with Ed Miliband, leader of the Labour Party.
Yeah. Yeah, he's ridiculous. And she kept kind of saying...
No, just think about that. This revolution, this big YouTube revolution went on for months.
And then he backs...
At the last minute...
And then he backs establishment categories, yeah. Or candidates. It's really ridiculous.
Come on.
But yeah, so then he...
Give me a break. Come on.
He put forth basically America...
hate, Russell Brand.
He put forth the American founding ideas as his idea for an original great government.
Dude, he's full of shit. He's got all this Masonic 33 tattoos everywhere.
Yeah, and then so he tries to drop a socialist system on top.
He was nearly married to a Rothschild princess.
Yeah, and she kept saying...
That? What was her name? You know, the goldsmith.
Yeah.
Diana's.
I'm telling you, it was a really great interview because Candace presented every point I wish someone would have.
Why am I talking about Russell Brand? Fuck that dude. Sorry,
yeah.
Changes, but fuck
no, it's all right. I'm just sort of. If anything, more talking about how Candace tried to, set him straight. And the one thing she said was, she was like, Russell, it's like we're on the same page, and to the point where you're saying, well, the government needs to care for everyone and do that through money and redistribution. She said, everything you say up until that point, we're on the same page. You just want to take it a step too far. And I'm just saying, come back. Like, really good.
What's Russell Brand doing to help people with all? How much do you think that guy's worth?
Oh, he's worth millions at this rate. And she even said that. She said, that's why you guys are such great mouthpieces for socialism, because you all feel guilty about how successful you are. And he kept trying to say, well, I'm not Hollywood, I'm not... And she's like, that's where you started, and that's why you feel this guilt. And it was just...
It's with that Katy Perry, Princess of the Illuminati.
I don't think they're together anymore, though. I think they broke up.
They had
but yeah.
Weirdness. Just the whole thing's weird.
Yeah. Well, and even, what the thing is, they tried to say...
He used to be really funny.
Yeah, he did. And they tried to say... They tried to say that, part of their separation was Katie going more towards the Illuminati and Russell not, but I don't see anything he's doing as being against what, it's like Katy Perry doesn't preach global togetherness, Russell Brand does. Like, Russell Brand does far more to help the New World Order than Katy Perry in the grand scheme of things. So, there's not really a divergence between the two in big picture actions. But anyway, that's my bit on Russell Brand.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Speaking of people I'm not a fan of, did you catch my video on Stefan Molyneux?
No, I want to hear about it though. Why don't you like Stefan this time?
Well, it's not that I don't like him. It's that, I went in on how he misrepresented Tucker's argument about the cars and all of that. And then that I have a problem with... And I think I said this in the last podcast. If you were to look at Stefan Molyneux's Twitter right now, there isn't anything that you could say to convince me he's not a white supremacist if someone leveled that accusation at him. Like, there isn't anything at this point, because it's just all whites build the greatest civilizations, no guilt, which, I mean, it's just like I mean, it's like KKK talking points, just start to finish, and then with this caveat of, but Asians have higher IQs. And I keep posing this question to people. Stefan is saying, based on the debunked out of Africa theory, that whites were cast out of Africa into the cold, and adapting to the cold of, say, Russia and all these other places over evolutionary time periods caused their IQs to raise. Okay, that's your premise. Hardship and being cast out and moving around forced the IQs of white people to rise in order to adapt to survive. And then Asians have higher IQs because why? And no one can give me an answer. Everyone can tell me all day long why whites are higher than blacks, and then they'll add in the, but Asians are the highest. And whenever I ask, well, why are they the highest, I get crickets. And it's because it's pseudoscience garbage. I have a theory. I don't know if you know of this. In America, there's this stereotype for men where people say men who drive overly large trucks are doing it to account for large penis sizes or smaller penis sizes. Like you have a really big truck because you have a small dick.
I have a car too, so I must have it.
Me too. Yeah, I must be wildly hung. Yeah, me too. I walk everywhere, so... So I guess that means we have the biggest dicks of them all. But anyway, I have that's my theory about IQs. The people that go on all day long about IQs and high IQs and white people with high IQs, I think they're doing it to account for their IQs not being that high themselves, because they're trying to take that. It's the same thing I hate when black people do this whole, well, we created this, we created everything. Black people are responsible for music and, you know, all that stuff. It's the same thing. White people created these great societies. It's like, okay, yeah, white people created their giant chapel and, you know, all these wonderful buildings in Europe and everything. Well, it's 2018. What have you done? Oh, well, I've lectured into a camera on YouTube. Bravo. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm really over it because I don't see it as beneficial. Like, like I've told people before, you ever hear the phrase, too many chiefs, not enough Indians? Like, you need workers. There needs to be people building the products that the one genius person designed.
I didn't know that there were more than betas and alphas. What do you have to?
Oh, deltas, gammas, and all of that. Yeah, I think that's a far better way of breaking people into categories.
I can't figure out what I am then. What do you reckon I am?
I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the categories. I've looked into it briefly, but
what do you think you are?
I forget. I think I'm probably closer to the same category as Vox, where there's like an antisocial sort of delta, gamma.
I reckon you're a bit of a delta. Well, is the gamma the one that always works? They're the deltas, aren't they? The factory worker dudes.
Let me see.
I don't know, what man. I'm so confused, Jamie. That's what I am. There should be a category for just confused.
Delta males, these kind of guys put off a good front of acting like they're alpha males by conforming into whatever is fashionable and admired by the masses. Most of these times...
Oh, I'm definitely not that. I must be gamma,
assurance by society. Gamma, these kind of dudes are more or less self-reliant, self-motivated, and self-assured in their own personality that no one can change their ways. Some of these males are considered loners, but this is not the case for all gammas. Because of their stern personalities, many people write these off as betas by default because they won't conform to whatever. Chic alpha trait at the time during the period. The man whose confidence is...
They'll probably burn the office down to be pissed off. Like in the office space. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's gamma that I am.
Yeah, I think I'm one of them.
Yeah, but it's again the kind of loner conspiracy theory type. And Jordan Peterson obviously Delta. I think.
I wouldn't like to be an alpha because you'd just be like keeping up appearances all the time.
Yeah. And you do it for sort of genuine, like, it's like you're keeping up appearances and you don't even realize you're doing it. It's like lack of self-awareness almost.
What are you going to do for Christmas, man?
I'm working the overnight shift Christmas Eve. Then I come home at 9 a.m. I don't know. It depends if the kids have opened presents by then. And yeah, I don't mind. I get you know, holiday pay, and I'm doing an overnight shift, so hopefully people will just be asleep. And then I don't know. I maybe working on music. I got a present I'm working on for the restaurant, my day job. So working on that at some point. I got 3 days off from that job, so that's nice. I get a little bit of a break.
What are you thinking about Bohemian Grove 2.0?
What, your plan for us to break in?
Is it going to be just a waste of time? Or are we actually going to crack the big kahuna?
I don't know. I have to look into it more. I haven't... Which was the place you wanted to go into?
Belgium Chateau. Looks quite easy to infiltrate. Because there needs to be a Bohemian Grove, Dark Secrets 2.0. Someone needs to find Alex Jones and get him to come too.
Yeah, it's true that there hasn't been... Oh, you know what was really funny is I was watching some video trying to debunk the idea of there being an Illuminati, and at one point they were like, they even brought up an owl and like all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, oh, the owl, you know, kind of like Molech, the one they do fake sacrifices to in front of Bohemian Grove. Funny how all of that information was missing from this debunking.
Did you see Aaron Dykes' thing on the Illuminati when he went to Germany?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Quite recent.
I watched a lot of their stuff. I don't know if I saw a recent one about it.
Just type in Belgium, Chateau and Ritual. Put Ritual into the Google search. Go into that place, bro. On Halloween. I reckon you need to get Jack to come and Martina, because then they can meet and have like a little holiday. And I reckon Martina would be able to just walk through the front door, because she'll blend in. Be a good little decoy.
Let's see. In his speeches, Fritz Springmeier cites a secret castle situated near the Vilgemuno in Belgium. This castle, according to Springmeier, is the center of the occult and has a cathedral with a dome containing 1,000 lights. The castle is referred to as the Mother of Darkness Castle, and the monarch programming is supposedly performed on children there. This castle is known as...
Remember the Mother of Darkness? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was that David Icke first film he did, where he interviewed... What's her name? What was her name? But you know the lady.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah, and that's quite a cool interview. Like, I'm buying that now. Like, at first, like 10 years ago, I thought this is bullshit, but now I'm like... Probably is true. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it's a waste of time going there? Like no one's been in there, really.
Let's see. Known as the Castle of Kings, near the village. This castle is domain. The forest once belonged to Prince Philip of the Saxe-Coburg-Gotha.
The Nazi.
Yep, he purchased the property.
Eat children. The most evil place on earth.
This castle was later bought by Alice Solvay, niece of the Belgian scientist and industrialist Ernan Solvay, and today is apparently still owned by the Solvays. Presently, the Bush twins are 19 years old, and the Illuminati hierarchical structure, they are being programmed to become Mothers of Darkness. A sealing ritual is required for females in the satanic bloodlines at age 19. An Illuminati multiple will carry out ritual functions at a number of different levels in the occult. There will be different altars for different levels and many different rituals. I didn't know the Bushes had twins. The back part of the hierarchy system may not be worked in a sealing ceremony involving Egyptian magic at age 19 in April. Wow, that's a creepy picture. You have a picture of these two Bush girls with the father, the one that just passed away, and the mother who has the fetus in the kitchen,
Oh,
and
the
they're
one that shagged up Alistair Crowley's little girl.
yeah, and they're all in bed together, and he's got like a little
That's normal.
pyramid statue sitting on here
Oh, that's normal.
on his lap in bed. Yeah,
Oh,
although
that's normal. On his lap.
yeah, they're all in bed together, and he has a little one. Do you see what I got myself for Christmas? I got a little pyramid for. I don't know if you.
What? And he's like masturbating with it or something.
No, it's actually supposed to absorb radiation frequencies. So I have
What? When you put it on your dick?
yeah, pretty much. So I have it sitting by the computers and all that stuff because all that emits radiation. So trying not to die of cancer and worship Satan at the same time.
So what are you saying about this castle, bro? What are you saying? Is it Bohemian Grove 2.0 or is it just... Because remember, I mean, we need... I mean, imagine, I mean, it'd be a good film, wouldn't it? At least.
Yeah.
What do you reckon's going to happen if we get there like 3 days before Halloween? And just hang around the villages around the area? It's got a border around it, kind of. I don't know what kind of border, but it's got like a border around it.
It's definitely got a big ass, like 10-foot fence at least.
No, it's about 2 miles square. Yeah, that's once you get to the gate. The gate's that's right in the middle. It's surrounded by a border and woods. It's about a 15-minute walk from the village to the castle's front door. 15 minutes. So to get out, I mean, that's closer than what you can get to Bohemian Grove, isn't it? At least. Just hope drones aren't banned by then, because a drone would be quite handy. I mean, what do we do? I mean, how do we go about it? Do we just hang around the outskirts? Or do we try and infiltrate? Do you think Martina would be up for coming? Because she could crowdfund it really well.
She might.
And if we advertise her as like an escort for like £3,000 an hour,
What do you think?
might
You'll
get
have
a job there.
one of these rich people try to
Yeah,
take her in?
bit of bait, you know. Why is it the most evil place on earth? Why?
Yeah, that's true. Even here, this video for the David Icke thing, Mother of Darkness Castle, the most evil place on earth.
Mother of Darkness is the woman that gives birth to the children that get butchered, I think. I think that's the Mother of Darkness. So, is Brett up for coming?
Probably.
We needed like a team, dude.
I'm just looking at the headlines on David Icke's thing. Birmingham airport flight suspended due to air traffic control fault.
Yes, how do we go about infiltrating? Do we like actually try and infiltrate, like with distractions and try and get as close as we can? Or do we just sit back in the woods? Do we go that far? Or do we just sit outside the village 15 minutes away and just see what traffic goes through?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the place, like, and see the layout before even thinking about that. I mean, I'm sure there's ways in. I mean, you gotta figure out if anything run underneath it. Like you said, is
How
there
much do you reckon a
traffic?
flight is from where you are to Belgium?
Couple $100.
Do you want me to book it for you?
We'd have to figure out when we want to do this, and if we want to get a group, we'd have to.
What do you mean when?
Well, like when during the year?
Halloween, you fucking
Oh,
Google it.
okay.
Do it on Easter. No, you gotta do it on
Probably
Halloween,
be
bro.
sacrificing people there at Easter. definitely creepy shit goes on at Easter. That's the resurrection holiday.
We might be the next Bohemian Grove film. Imagine how big that could be if we did see like loads of limos heading up there. And then Jamie goes missing.
Outrage sparked as school kids are now taught boys can have periods too and get pregnant. What is this 100 days to go? May veers towards no-deal Brexit as clock ticks on Britain's time in EU.
I don't know what's going on with Brexit anymore.
I don't either. I almost feel like they're trying to just run it into the ground as being such a clusterfuck that they're like just trying to keep it going on until people are so demoralized and just kind of give up on it. But I mean, it really, from afar, it seems as if the